Well, welcome to Feel Resilient. Who to trust with your health, your liberty, your sustainability, and your spirituality. It's my real pleasure to introduce you to my friend Teresa McCloy of the Real Life Process. Teresa is going to help us to understand first of all, what matters, and then to do what matters. And there's something that maybe like you've struggled like I have. And that is, first of all, to know what matters and then to focus deep into doing what matters. And I don't think it's possible to feel resilient, right? Really a deep down resilience that you can move forward regardless of the storms of your life, unless you have a deep understanding of knowing what matters and then to focus on those things, doing those things that matter. So I certainly hope you enjoy our discussions on Feel Resilient.
You mentioned once we have our areas of focus, what we want to do is actually write a statement. Again, writing it down, getting our map written out around if you were to look out in the next 12 months. So don't think about what you're doing now. Think about what you'd want it to look like in the next 12 months. What would you want your community involvement to look like? And we're just going to capture some thoughts and again, mind map it out a little bit. And then we're going to write a statement around this.
Okay. Well, right now, I would say 12 months out from right now. Well, I would say currently and in 12 months, I'm doing nothing in community.
Okay. So that's an easy one, right?
Yeah, because
Okay, so,
there is no capacity. Like when I think about, the only thing I can think about is just, again, being involved with people who are struggling, like I mentioned before, who are struggling with making decisions, needing the information, making the decisions about, about their own autonomy.
And that really comes in your business bucket in what you're speaking and teaching. So I love this, Steve. Thanks for saying nothing, because you know what? Not that you don't care, right? Not that you don't care, but right now it is not an area of focus for you and we can let it go.
Yeah.
And we can just take it off the list. Gone. Doesn't mean it won't ever be on there, but right now it's not. Because we're going to review these every 90 days and you get to decide. And you've already said, you even said, not even in the next year, is it ever coming on? Okay.
No.
So I'm going to take an easy one that I know is going to stay on.
Okay.
Okay. And we're going to say marriage.
Okay.
So if you looked out in the next 12 months, same question, at what your marriage looked like, give me some words that would describe it.
I would say intimacy.
Okay.
I would say friendship. I would say activity, meaning that things that we're doing together, the things that we enjoy together. And I would say travel, and maybe even a better word would be just to experience or experiences.
Love that word.
Yeah. So we experience different things together. And then I'm just thinking together, because we're grandparents, then, we're grandparenting. So because my wife is French, it's grandmama and grandpapa.
Okay. So that might go in the extended family one.
Yeah.
Remember the other bucket that we had?
Yeah.
So let me play with these just for our lack of time and just to give the example all the way through. I call these I am statements. What makes our areas of focus powerful in our lives is when we write a statement around each of these areas. So for you in your marriage area, you might say, remember, we're thinking forward. This is almost like a mantra. This is like a breath prayer for this area. I am having an intimate friendship with my wife where we're experiencing life together.
Right.
Something along that nature. Okay. Yeah. Because for your listeners and for yourself, what you want to say is, this is what it looks like. So can you imagine in a weekly review, reading through your 7 to 8 areas of focus and the powerful statements that you've written around those areas, and you say, yes, that's my life. I want to show you mine as an example. Can you let me share screen real quick, Steve?
Sure.
And I'll let you see mine. Now, what I want to tell you and those that are listening to us, I have been working on this same rule of life document for almost 5 or 6 years. So I have added a lot of things to mine over. If you go to security and you hit, let me see if I can share. Yep, I can share now. So perfect. Okay, so here is my document. This is my life document written out. And so you can see, here's my needs and values. Here is what I call my natural talents and gifts. Here is a little bit about my Enneagram. Here is, I've done some different things with DISC and Reach 360. And so I've captured them here because I want to remember this is who I am. Then we haven't talked about it. We'll talk about it next time, about a purpose statement, a life statement. But as you see over here in these areas of focus, here is my areas of focus: self-care, immediate family, extended family, deep friendships, generosity, financial, travel and recreation, and professional. So the one we were just working on, I call it my extended family, or excuse me, my immediate family is my daughter, her husband, and my husband. So I have one bucket called immediate family.
Right.
I'm continuing to live out my role as wife and mother, as God shows me how to support, encourage, love, and inspire those I love deeply. I'm making time. So here's the practical, right? I'm making time with Dale and Annika and Justin a priority each week.
Okay. Yeah.
So here's another one down here in deep friendships. I am growing deep friendships through my circle of friends. I have 3 to 5. Here, the numeric value. So I don't feel this pressure that I have to have 25. No, I have 3 to 5. I figure if 3 was good for Jesus in his inner circle, it's probably good for me. So they walk with me in everyday life, and I can connect with them regularly in person. So it's important for me to be able to have access in person to those friends on a regular basis. I set aside time for them on a consistent schedule. I have deep friendships through my professional circles, you being one of those, as well as with others that mentor me and pour into my life personally and professionally. You also see in mine that I have gone through, and this is something I did a couple of years ago. I didn't do it right away when I was writing mine in the very beginning, but I have connected my needs and values to that area.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So where does, my needs and values show up in spirituality? Where do they show up in self-care? Immediate family, empathy, impact. I want to impact my family. I want to have integrity. I still want to train my children. So do you see how the two start to connect?
Right. Yeah.
And now I can live from here internally, not externally. I'm deciding. And as you said about what you're wanting to even help people learn, this resiliency, and that they can choose for themselves, but we have to know the platform from which we're choosing.
Right.
We have to know what's at the ground floor, so that when something comes against me or something becomes a choice, I choose it with confidence. I choose it. I say no to things that might come up because I want to be with my adult daughter and her husband. I could volunteer. I could go to the prayer meeting. I could do whatever, but I say, no, it's important for me to have them over for dinner because that's one of my values, or that's one of my areas of focus.
Right.
So your work,
Very good.
and those that are listening to do this week, is that leaning into this first step. Get you a piece of paper. You've already done it. Here's my areas. And then the second step is, in a couple of those areas, how I have time, I'm going to put one in the center. I'm going to map it out a little bit, and then I'm going to write a statement around a couple of them.
Okay.
And then we'll
And
talk
that-
about needs and values as well next week.
So that obviously, when you say an I am statement, that drives you automatically to be functioning in a position of, or from be first, of being first, right? Be,
Yes,
do,
not
have.
doing. Right.
Yeah, be, do, have versus do, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I am, and it's the reason I like to start them with I am, it's taking ownership.
Mhm.
This is on me to be the husband, to be the wife, to be the business owner, to take care of your own spirituality. I am doing this. And here's what it's going to look like in the future. It's not what you're doing now. It's projecting it out to there. Write the statement like it's happening already, because then we live into it.
Right. Okay. Very good.
Okay.
All right, Teresa.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed my discussion with Teresa McCloy from the Real Life Process, helping you understand what really matters, and then, of course, doing what matters. And I personally don't think that you can move forward effectively and really feeling resilient unless you know what matters to you, and then you focus on doing what matters to you. So again, trust that you've enjoyed that conversation, and look forward to you seeing many more of these conversations going forward as we build out for you, under the umbrella of Feel Resilient, this idea of really understanding and doing what matters. See you on the next video.